अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारम भेतारं कर्म बुभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। Tattvat Sutra written by Acharya Umaswamy, and we are on to the sixth chapter of Tattvat Sutra where we are discussing the causes of influx of different types of karmas. So far we have covered three types of karma: knowledge obscuring karma, causes of knowledge obscuring karma, causes of perception obscuring karma, causes of monia karma. Today we would be discussing the causes of the influx of nam karma, physic forming karma. Okay. Causes of the influx of physic forming karma. Okay. We are on to the translation is page number 15 of 21 pages. Okay. नाम कर्म के आश्रव के कारण. Yes. Okay. After discussing the causes of Ayu Karma's Asrav, yeah, that we did. Okay. We now examine the causes of influx of physic forming karma, that is Nam Karma. Sutra number 22 and 23. The distortion of yoga, that is deceitfulness of mind, speech and body, along with visamvad. Visamvad means conflict, a tendency to quarrel and argue. Along with conflict, which is a tendency to quarrel and argue, leads to the influx of inauspicious physic forming karma. Okay. Inauspicious physic forming karma. So the distortion means deceitfulness of mind, speech and body. And the other part is along with conflict. Okay. So this leads to inauspicious nam karma. Conversely, the causes of opposite to those inauspicious nam karma, such as straightforwardness of mind, speech and body, and the absence of conflict. So presence of conflict was binding the inauspicious nam karma. Now absence of conflict leads to the influx of auspicious nam karma. When the deceitfulness of mind, speech and body exist internally, swagat, it is called yog vakrata. And when the same deceitfulness manifests externally, causing conflict with others, it is termed as visamvad. Okay. So when the deceitfulness and other activities exist internally, okay, swagat, it is called yog vakrata, distortion of yog. Yog vakrata means distortion of yog. And when the same deceitfulness manifests externally, causing conflict with others, it is called conflict, visamvad. The word cha, ca, in the sutra suggests that the other factors such as false belief, it is not gossiping but backbiting, chugalkhori, backbiting, snitching, mental instability, and backbiting is an appropriate word. Remove gossiping. Gossiping is also used in this sense, but we generally refer to gossiping when we talk casually. So this is backbiting is the correct word, right? And using different weights and measures can also be considered as part of Yogya Vikrata. So any activity which is involving Mayachari, deceitfulness, is an activity which binds inauspicious nam karma. Okay. So all the sentiments that we manifest in our day-to-day life, time and again, has a direct consequence with the bondage. Okay. The kind of uh, sentiments that you manifest, whether it is auspicious or inauspicious. If it is auspicious, it binds auspicious karmas. And if it is inauspicious sentiment, then it binds inauspicious karma. No karma is bound without any manifestations. Okay. So first the manifestation happens and then the binding happens. Okay. So when those karma comes into fruition, we blame the other people for that, but that is not the right understanding. It is our own karma that is coming into fruition. We have nobody to blame in outside world, right? They are just an instrumental cause. The main cause, the internal cause, is our rise of karmas which we only have bound in our past lives. Okay. So now with this understanding, we should be careful in the present moment. Whatever has happened. But now the present is in our hand. So we should take utmost care of looking at the sentiments that we are manifesting. Okay. So false belief, then backbiting, mental instability. Yeah, and using different weights and measures. Okay. So when you want to buy something, you use different kinds of weights. And when you want to sell it, you use different kinds of weights. Why? Because the one which shows 1 kg, okay, while selling, it is actually 900 grams. So you are making a profit on the price. On above that, you are making a profit on the weightage. You are giving 10% less to the consumers. Okay. So this is again a type of deceitfulness only. And while buying, you do the opposite. You make it 100 gram more. So in both the cases, we are only binding such karmas, which when comes into fruition, brings us all the adverse associations in our life. We have nobody to blame. Nobody. Nobody can do anything to us without our rise of karmas. Okay. And if there is a rise of inauspicious karma, nobody can save us also. So what we are enjoying right now is the fruits of what we have sown earlier. Okay. So we should be very careful in the present. that we don't do any wrongful activity because you don't get success by any wrongful activity. On the contrary, the kind of success that we are supposed to get because of our ill intention, wrong intention, we will get less than what we would have deserved. So it is always better to live a very ethical life. Okay. So this is 22, 23. Now moving on to the next. So it's not yet complete. We can see here. Similarly, opposite. Yeah. Yeah. Similarly, opposite quality should be included in the context of Shubh Nam Karma. So Ashubh we have discussed. Now Shubh Nam Karma, that is auspicious physic forming karma, such as respect towards spiritual individuals. Okay. Then respect towards, no. Then next point is fear of worldly existence, sansar bhiruta. Okay. The third is vigilance. Vigilance means alertness, carefulness. Okay. All of which contribute to the influx of auspicious physic forming karma. Okay. So whatever the kind of sentiments that we manifest, accordingly our bondage keeps on happening all the time. It's a continuous process without any interruption. When we realize ourselves, then begins the journey of liberation, and at that point of time, some of the karmas stop binding. And as you progress in the spiritual path with more practice of science of discrimination, with more purity, the bondage also reduces. Now 24, the cause of influx of Tirthankar Nam Karma. So we were discussing Nam Karma in general. It has got 93 subdivisions, out of which 47, no, 46 are inauspicious and 47 are auspicious. So one of those auspicious is the Tirthankar Nam Karma, Tirthankar determining karma. Okay. What is the cause of influx of Tirthankar determining karma? We all want to become a Tirthankar. Why? Because my name will remain there for centuries. No, not because of that. Right? On the contrary, if you become a Tirthankar, there are only 24 Tirthankars in a time cycle, and you have to wait for another time cycle to come, which is a very, very long period, one Koda Kodi Sagar. So, why should we think of becoming a Tirthankar at all? Why cannot we become an ordinary omniscient being and get liberated? But some people have craze for this Tirthankar Nam Karma, and they have in them this kind of feeling that they want to bind Tirthankar Nam Karma. So what are the causes that we have to understand? Although Tirthankar Nam Karma is also included in Nam Karma due to its distinctiveness, due to its importance, it is mentioned separately here, which is as follows. So there are 16 names given. I'm not reading the names because we are going to discuss each. Now these 16 are called 16 cause reflections, or you can say 16 virtues. Okay. So these 16 reflections are also called 16 cause reflections or 16 virtues. Number 1, we are on to the next page now. Yes, number 1. Yeah. Vishuddha. Vishuddha Samyak Darshan. Okay. So the first one is purity of faith. It means the purity associated with right faith. The most intense inclination. Inclination means ruchi, your interest. The most intense inclination combined with genuine reverence towards the non-attached path to liberation, as explained by the Arihant, is called purity of faith, which is the number 1 out of 16 cause reflections. The influx and bondage of Tirthankar determining karma begin only from the 4th stage of spiritual development. This clearly implies that the presence of pure right faith is essential for the bondage of Tirthankar Prakriti. Okay, because it begins from the 4th. So in the 4th stage, you are already a right believer. So if you want to bind Tirthankar Nam Karma, you first become a right believer. Then only you can bind such karma. This Darshan Vishuddhi is the first among the 16 cause reflections or cause contemplations. Number 2, endowed with humility. Being endowed with the feeling of reverence towards the attributes of faith, knowledge, conduct, which constitute the nature of path of liberation. So these are 3 gems: faith, knowledge, and conduct, which constitute the nature of the path of liberation, as well as towards beings who possess darshan, gyan, and charitra. Okay, is called Vinay Sampanta, endowed with humility. It is the second of the 16 cause reflections. Then the third, faultless observance of conduct vows. Observing the 5 major vows, Mahavrat, and the 7 supplementary vows, 7 Silvrat, without any transgression, okay, is called faultless observation of conduct vows. It is the third in the sequence of 16 cause reflections. The nature of these 5 vows and 7 supplementary vows will be explained in detail in the next chapter, that is the 7th chapter. So we are not discussing it here. The 4th one is very, very important. Abhikshan Gyan Upyog means intense application to knowledge. Okay. Remaining constantly engaged in the pursuit of right knowledge. Okay. So all the time you are contemplating about the concepts that you have learned from Jinwani, and you are now every time constantly engaged in the pursuit of right knowledge. So this kind of feeling is again a cause for the influx of Tirthankar determining karma. Okay. So remaining constantly engaged in the pursuit of right knowledge related to the self and other fundamental truths. Jiva Jeev 7 fundamentals is called intense application to knowledge. It is the 4th of the 16 cause reflections. Constant engagement in the self-study of Jinagam, canonical text, and scriptures related to Jain spirituality is referred to as intense application to knowledge. So this was the fourth one. Fifth one, intense spiritual anguish. Okay, remaining continuously detached from the miseries of the worldly existence is called intense spiritual anguish. That means that you have to take your active consciousness towards your self, okay, towards yourself. So this is called Abhikshan Samveg. Number 6, having the intent to renounce according to one's capacity. Okay, and developing the intent to give in charity is called renunciation to the best of one's ability. It is the sixth of the 16 cause reflections. So you should be always alert, in renouncing according to the best of your ability. Because all these sentiments are going to be the cause of your binding of Tirthankar determining karma. Okay. So these are the sentiments that a soul manifests if he has to bind the Tirthankar Nam karma. Okay. As I said, Tirthankars are only 24. So these are all very rare people. In the context of the in the context of the Saktita Tyag, renunciation to the best of one's ability, contemplation, Acharya Akalang Dev in his Tatvarth Rajvardik, while discussing the three types of donations or charity, draws attention to a very significant point. He writes, by giving food, the recipient experiences joy on that very day. Okay. So if you donate food to somebody, you are fulfilling his desire for that particular day. Through granting fearlessness, Abhaidan, the suffering of the present life is removed. Thus, the recipient feels relief, okay, only for the present birth. But the donation of knowledge, Gyan Dan, is that which liberates from the suffering of countless lifetimes. So this is the best kind of donation that you can do. This is the best kind of charity that you can do. Spread the knowledge of wisdom. You have learned the technique, now you teach into others. And that's how you bind Tirthankar Nam Karma. When you feel that all the individuals of the universe are just like me, let them get this path of liberation and get liberated. This kind of reflections, this kind of contemplations leads to binding of Tirthankar Nam Karma. Okay. In this way, within the 16 cause reflection, by highlighting the unparalleled greatness of knowledge, wealth, Gyan Dhan, the contemplation of intense application to knowledge is further encouraged. Seventh, yes, remaining engaged and active in the 12 types of austerities or penance, Bharatap, according to one's capacity is called Sakti Tapa. the seventh of the 16 cause reflections. Among the 12 types of austerities, that is penance, there is also one called Swadhyay. It is the number 10. Okay. Scriptural studies, which emphasizes the worship of knowledge. So this is very, very important. Number 8, cultivating the intent to attain appropriate meditative absorption, samadhi, like that of ascetics, and to serve those who are established in samadhi is called sadhu samadhi. Okay. So monk also helps other monks. They also do their seva, you know. And this is the 8th cause reflections. 9th, engaging to the best of one's ability in the service of fellow aspirants, co-religionists, sadharmic, and ascetics is called Vayavriti-karan. Okay. This is the 9th of the 16th cause reflections. 10 to 13. It's all together because only the name changes, everything else remains same. 10, 11, 12, 13. Four reflections are coming together. Having devotional reference towards the Aryantas, so that is number 10, Acharyas number 11, Upadhyaya is number 12, who possess vast scriptural knowledge, and towards the fourth one, Jina's teachings is called respectively Arihant Bhakti, Acharya Bhakti, Upadhyaya Bhakti, and Pravachan Bhakti. These are the 10th to 13th of the 16 cause reflections. Even within these 4 forms of devotion, the worship of knowledge is directly evident. Okay. So everywhere the knowledge is being worshipped because it is only the tool that we have through which we can get ourselves liberated. Thus we observe that among the Solas Karan Bhavana, self-study, Swadhyay, remains of utmost importance. Because unless and until you do studies of scriptures, you are not going to develop your knowledge skill, your discriminative of knowledge skill. And that is very important in the path of liberation. 14th, observing the 6 essential duties, okay, is called Avashyak Parihani. Okay. Essential duties. The 14th of the 16 cause reflections. Okay. Among the ascetics and lay followers, both observe the 6 essential duties, daily duties, 6 essential daily duties. So it is different from the householder and it is different for the monk. But one thing is common among both, and that is self-study, swadhyay. Okay. You open your book and you study and you just pause, think over it, again study, again pause. So this makes very interesting reading, Both observe the 6 essential duties, including swadhyay, that is scriptural study. However, for householders, essential duties like worship of the divine are omitted in the case of monk. Okay, so worshipping the deities of Jinendra Bhagwan is not compulsorily in the stage of a monk, but as a householder, that is our first and foremost duty, that we should always go to the temple first, do the abhishek, and then do swadhyay, and then come back. 15th, enhancing one's soul with the brilliance of the Ratnatraya, the three gems, the three jewels, right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct, and promoting Jin Darshan, veneration of the Jin through donations, worship, etc., is called Marga Prabhavana, the 15th of the 16 cause reflections. The last one. Just as a cow selflessly displays motherly affection towards her calf, similarly, having selfless affection for fellow spiritual aspirants, साधमिक भाई बहनों में, and for the teaching of the Jiya is called Prabhavna Vatsalya. Thus, we see that even among these 16 cause reflections, it holds primary importance. Okay, so everything is important. We have to just comprehend it in the right sense, in the right perspective. Okay, now we are moving on to Gotra Karma, cause of the influx of status determining karma. Verse Sutra number 25 and 26. Parataminda prasamase seda sadguna chadano bhavana cha nikai rogatrasya padvi paryayo tadvi paryayo nishavirtai anute seku kotarasya. A socially respected and virtuous lineage. Okay, the one which is coming from our forefathers, that is the lineage. A socially respected and virtuous lineage is considered Ucha Gotra, whereas a socially disrespectable and immoral family is considered Nigod Gotra. Okay, criticizing others, praising oneself, diminishing the virtues present in others, concealing them, and projecting values that do not actually exist in oneself. Displaying such tendency leads to the influx of low status determining karma. Okay. Now, the opposite causes, such as praising others, criticizing oneself, highlighting the good qualities of others, while concealing their inappropriate ones, not displaying even one's own worthy virtues, remaining humble before virtuous individuals, and not being amongst despite possessing virtues, as all causes of the asrav influx of Uchgatra. Okay, so all these kind of auspicious sentiments leads to Uchgotra. Now we will discuss niche gotra. The presence of noble qualities in noble persons leads to the influx of high status lineage, whereas possessing qualities resembling them, those of individuals from lowly lineages, results in influx of negod. Okay, so this is a request. The act of mangana, okay, the act of mangana, asking or begging, inherently involves a desire to change something. Hence, one who begs the sharing has gone. Hence, the one who begs does not accept the natural unfolding, sahaj parinaman of things. There is also injustice in begging because suffering is the result of one's own karma, which the person does not want to endure and instead seeks forgiveness through bhav, through Bhagwan, okay, through Lord, okay. If someone commits theft, does not wish to stop stealing, nor wants to bear the consequences of it, and seeks the Lord's help to escape them, what kind of justice is that? And why would the Lord assist in such a matter? Okay. So there is nobody coming to help you except your own rise of karmas. Okay. Now, antarai karma, causes of influx of obstructive karma. Now, finally, let us shed light on the causes of the influx of obstructive karma. This is Sutra number 27 only. The influx of antarai karma, you know, obscuring karma. Okay. The influx of antarai karma, obstructive karma, occurs by creating obstacles in charity, gain, then consumable, reusable, consumable energy. 5 things are there. Okay. Charity is dan, gain is labh, then consumable, unconsumable, and virya. Okay. This means that creating obstacles in somebody's charity leads to the influx of danantarai karma, obstruction to charity in their gain. It leads to labhantarai karma, obstruction to pain in their enjoyment. It causes bhogantarai karma, obstruction to enjoyment in their consumables. It results in upbhogantarai karma, obstructions to consumables, and in their energy it causes vyantar karma, obstruction of spiritual energy. That which is used once is called single use consumable, or you can say relished once, and the other is which is repeatedly consumable, reusable, consumable is called relished repeatedly. Items like bread, lentils, sweets, and savories are bhog, whereas items like chair, table, fans are all upbhog, reusable, consumable. If we desire that all our action proceeds without any obstacles, then we too should not become an obstruction in others' effort. We should not attempt to create antray in their task. We should also not harbor the feeling of that they should not succeed in their endeavors. Okay. Then next page. So this is all we have. All the 8 karmas have been covered. Now there are some question answers here given that we are going to discuss. And then of course I have said you the causes of knowledge obscuring karma, perception obscuring karma, and the deluding karma. All these 3 I have sent in the group. You can check out. This is a simple translation of the earlier book that we were referring from Chabdaji. Okay. So you can refer this chapter 6 also from there. And otherwise we will be taking some of the glimpses of those in the class. Now some questions and answers on chapter 6. The question is, when it is written in the Shastras, scriptures, that except for Ayu karma, lifespan determining karma, the bondage of the remaining 7 karmas continues uninterruptedly. Okay. Then how it is that only the influx of Jnana and other karmas is said to occur due to transgressions, means without any faults. Okay. What does this mean? The implication is, under such circumstances, how can the causes of the influx of each karma be described separately? This is the question. Okay. The answer is, as per every moment, prati samay, the influx of a specific quantity of karmas, karmic matter, bound per unit until time occurs. Okay. Until the right time comes. The answer is, as per every moment, the influx of a specific quantity of karma raj, karmic matter bound per unit time occurs. Although this moment bound quantity of paramanu particles gets distributed among the remaining 7 karmas, excluding Ayu karma, yet the anubhav or potency to give results among them is determined according to the mentioned mental dispositions. Okay. So this is Ayu karma that we are discussing. So all the 7 karmas constantly binds new karmas. Only one karma is such that it does not bind new karmas. Okay. Question number 2. The discussion of the causes of karmic influx for various karmas predominantly pertains to emotional status, observing mainly in sensate 5 sensed being, or we can say human being with mind. Okay. So these are the senior citizens. They are called sensate 5 sensed beings. In such a situation, what is the condition of karmic influx in being ranging from ekandriya to aseni panchendriya, non-sense 5 sense beings? Okay. Answer 2. The explanation is primarily intended for sensate beings, seni panchendriya. Okay, sensate beings. Therefore, the entire discourse is from the perspective of seni beings. Okay, the person who are having mind, they are called seni. though indirectly and unexpressed manner, experience karmic fusion, anubhag, due to types of similar types of this is the end, I think. It doesn't go further there, or it's there in the next page. I think you can go to the next page. So there is a question missing. Question number 3 is missing, and the first paragraph answer is missing. So I've translated the question 3 and the subsequent first paragraph of answer. For bondage of Tirthankar determining karma, do we have to compulsorily, mandatorily observe all the 16 cause reflections? This is the question. Okay. Answer. The bondage of Tirthankar determining karma happens and keeps on happening from fourth stage of spiritual development to up to sixth part, up to eighth stage of spiritual development, because it is a continuous type of bondage karma. Therefore, all the auspicious sentiments from fourth to eighth stage up to the 16th part are included in it. So are included here. Okay. One more question we will take. So this is the continuation of the answer number 3. Due to the possibility of existing in both the states of a Sravak and a Muni, the pure disposition arising in both these states have been encompassed here. Generally, along with darshan vishuddhi, purity of faith, the intense feelings or sadharmic vatsalya, compassion towards fellow seekers, deep engagement in swavidya, scriptural study, and the supreme intent for dharma prabhavana, propagation of religion, initiate the bondage of Tirthankar Prakriti, Tirthankar determining karmas. In the heart of the aforementioned right faith processing soul, such an intense feeling arises that the supreme truth that has come up into my understanding should be attained by all fellow beings, by all co-religionists, and may that divine soul becomes the object of knowledge for everyone's wisdom. Then, as a result of such a statement, the bondage of Tirthankar Prakriti takes place. Okay. Due to the lack of language knowledge and weakness in speech, person experiences difficulty in conveying their thoughts, especially the message of the soul, to the masses. The intention, however, is extremely strong. As a result, they attain such a divine speech, Divyadvani, that it is understood in 18 major languages and 7 hooked minor languages. There remains no kind of obstructions. All of this is processing the function of the Tirthankar Prakriti, determining karmas. The point to be kept in mind is that the influx of the karma known as Tirthankar Prakriti, Tirthankar determining karma, begins at the feet of a Kevali, that is omniscient being, or Shrut Kevli. From the 4th stage to the 7th stage of spiritual development, the mentioned condition is regarding the beginning of the influx, not that it continues to happen throughout. Okay. So you have to be very alert what you are doing, what kind of sentiments you are manifesting. And accordingly, you have to pick up the anuyog, which is suitable to you at that point of time. This makes smart reading and interesting reading also, because you are yourself contributing in the research. Okay. So you keep on learning new things on one side, and on the other side, they consider themselves to be pure soul. Question 4. Question 4 is incomplete. One page has not been printed. So I have given a request. I think hopefully by tomorrow morning I will get that. And then we will continue with question 4. Okay. Before that, I have shared in the group the English translation of those Hindi words that I shared last time when I came. You can remove that and use this one. So 4th question we will do next time. So now I had shared that causes, the other causes of binding, knowledge obscuring karma, perception obscuring karma. So these 3 I have corrected. Others I am correcting. I will be sharing with you tomorrow. So the last week I shared 5 pages from Hindi textbook by Pandit Ji Prakash Chand ji Chavda ji. Okay. So last week I shared the 5 pages. Today I am sharing you the English translation. Okay. And whatever is left over, that we will be doing tomorrow itself. Okay. So now that one only we are going to refer. Darshit ji, if you can share on the screen.
Sorry, sir, which one do you want me to share?
I have shared in the group today, just now.
The English ones.
Yeah, English ones. Page 223 is the first one, Parisist one.
So it will take me a bit of time.
Yeah,
to do
specific causes for the bondage of knowledge obscuring karma. So some of the causes we already discussed from the textbook, and some are written are there. These are very simple. This has been adapted from Tatvarth Rajvartik. Okay. By commentary, this is another big commentary on Tatvarth Sutra. So from there, the other points have been picked up. So I think there are 10. Yeah, there are 10 other causes. So these are the specific causes for the bondage of knowledge obscuring karma. The first one, holding opposition towards true acharya and upadhyayas. So if you have this kind of sentiments, you bind bondage of knowledge obscuring karma, jnana varana karma. Second point, lacking faith in the principles, that is tattvas. Third, laziness in study and listening to the principles. This is again a cause of bondage. Okay. Then disrespectfully listening to the scriptures. So you are reading scriptures while sleeping, or you are reading scripture keeping the jinwani on your lap. So these are all wrong practices. Okay. You should give proper respect to jinwani. It is Jinendra Bhagwan's Vani. So whatever is written in the scriptures about the reverence to a jinwani, all we should follow. Okay.
Sir, can you explain this? Laziness in study and listening to the principles. I didn't get this.
So like you always avoid studying the scriptures, So that is the laziness. You have many things to do. but this is the most important for your own development. If you
Hmm.
don't find time to do this, you have one excuse or other excuse to give.
Hmm.
This is called the laziness.
And listening to the principles.
There also the listening, there also laziness only, laziness, listening to the principles.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Then disrespectfully listening to the scriptures. That means you have to sit properly. You have to, you don't have to keep the scriptures on the lap. Never keep it, keep on a bit higher place. Use a small table or towni, towni that's are available in the temple on which we keep the scriptures. Okay. So these are some of the disciplines that we should follow. Otherwise, we are binding jnana, varana, karma. Fifth point, neglecting the true teachings of dharma. So if you don't understand the dharma properly and if you neglect, then of course you bind jnana, varana, karma. Considering oneself very knowledgeable and taking pride in it and giving false teachings. This also binds jnana, varana, karma. Seventh, insulting more learned individuals. Eighth, speaking untruth and against the doctrine of Jainisms. Ninth, greed for wealth, fame, status, etc. through writing and selling of scriptures. Okay. So if you are using this for your livelihood, then you bind such karmas. So you should not have greed for wealth, fame, status through writing and selling of scriptures. Number 10, indulging in violence. So violence is a number one sinful activity and this also binds jnana, varana, karma. The next in the sequence is the perception obscuring karma. Specific causes for the bondage of perception obscuring karma. So perception is relating to the general impression, before the knowledge, the general impression happens and that is called perception. So damaging the eyes or removing them. So if you want to study, you have to keep your eyes in proper shape, right? So you should be very careful not to damage your eyes or removing them. Number 2, being proud of one's eyesight. Okay. Being proud of one's eyesight means one's own eyesight. Third, excessive sleeping. These also bind perception karma. Then sleeping during the day. These also binds some type of karmas. Being lazy by nature. Holding atheistic thoughts. Number 7, speaking ill of right believer. Then number 8, praising other beliefs. Number 9, killing living beings. Number 10, criticizing true monks. So all these leads to the cause of bondage of gyan, perception obscuring karma. Now the third in the sequence, specific causes for the bondage of unpleasant feeling producing karma. Okay. So feeling producing karma, we have two types, pleasant and unpleasant. This is unpleasant. Gossiping, betrayal of trust, backbiting, criticism. This is the first point. These are all the causes for the bondage of unpleasant feeling producing karma. Okay. Number 2, causing others sorrow, giving baseless punishment. Causing others sorrow, okay, giving baseless punishment is a cause for the bondage of unpleasant feeling producing karma. Okay. Third one, cruelty, physical abuse, beating, threatening, scolding, shouting, insulting, etc. Again, all these leads to unpleasant feeling producing karma. Number 4, self-praise. Never praise yourself, because if you praise, you will be binding the karmas. Number 5, expressing inauspicious sentiments. Expressing inauspicious. So anyway, if you manifest inauspicious sentiments, you are going to bind new karmas. So this is about bondage of unpleasant feeling producing karma. Then number 6, to adopt highly sinful activities and large possessions. Number 7, having twisted or crooked intentions. So this kind of intentions only binds you unpleasant feeling producing karma. Then the next one, to earn livelihood through sinful acts. This is again a cause of bondage. Number 9, mixing poisons, creating traps, cages and nooses. All these are activities which are going to bind us unpleasant producing feeling karma. Unproduce, yeah, you can use the word what we were discussing? Mixing poisons, creating traps, cages and nooses. So these are again a cause of bondage of unpleasant feeling producing karma. Number 10, capturing or torturing living beings, suggesting cruel remedies. All these also leads to unpleasant feeling producing karma. Last one, 11th, to give scriptures to others which preaches false understanding. Okay. So this is all that I have corrected so far. I can share the other pages also, but I have not corrected. So I feel that once I correct it, then only you see to it. Okay. So this will we be doing tomorrow. Today we can start the next chapter. Okay, the 7th chapter. So let me share you the 7th chapter. I have not shared. You can share the new that I have shared in the group, 7th chapter. So just wait for one day. I will be correcting tomorrow the 7th chapter. So if you want to take a printout, you wait for one day. Otherwise, you can do the corrections. So I take a printout and then only I do the corrections, because corrections are very few in between. So anyways, we will be doing that. So instead of starting the 7th chapter, we can start the okay, let's start this one only. Let me get the printout. I have 1 minute. I've kept here only. No. 1 minute. I'll getting the printout. In meantime, you can share it, Darsiji. 7th chapter.
Sorry, okay, I'll try.
Aditi ji, so what are the pages that we have to take a printout? I've already taken a printout before what he gave. Could you just give a summary of the pages that we have to take out now that he's done?
Uh,
Because I took before the
so you
before
can
this.
do
No?
there are few
No.
corrections here and there. It's not. You took the first one?
Yeah, only the sutras, sir.
Acha. That one, no. That we have
Yeah.
discontinued, no.
Okay.
That
So now
you can refer as a reference. We will be following this textbook only.
from the chapter 6, 5.
No.
From
We will be doing the chapter 1 also again from this book
Okay.
only, and the
Okay.
5th one that also we will be doing from here only.
So then I think I'll wait till you put all the pages together.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, sir.
So what you can do now, what I do is I take out printouts, then we do a
Yeah.
spiral binding, you know. So they do
Okay.
that spiral binding. They only do it for us.
Yeah.
So just a minute, I'll get the printout. Here only, no problem. But anyways, I have to get the printout. 1 minute. Yes. Okay. So 7th chapter is regarding So this is the 7th chapter. We had discussed in the 6th chapter regarding the influx elements. Okay. Now in this chapter, we will be discussing the influx of auspicious karmas. Okay. Auspicious karma, influx of auspicious karma. This is the 7th chapter. Yeah. In the 6th chapter, the general nature of the Asrav Tattvarth doctrine was described and the causes of influx of the 8 karmas were discussed in detail. Now in this 7th chapter, we undertake a detailed examination of auspicious influx, the nature and types of woes. Okay, so basically these are all pertaining to the monks only. So we should consider as the great woes, the 5 great woes of a monk. Now, first of all, we discuss the nature of woe and its type, which are as follows. Sutra number 1, 2. Hinsa nrit steya brahma parigrebhyo virati vratam. So these are the name of the 5 scenes. The second sutra. Desa sarvato mnu mahati. So violence, falsehood, theft, non-celibacy or adultery, we use adultery most often, and possessiveness. Okay. Renunciation from these 5 sins is called woe. Okay. So 5 sins, and if you are renouncing it partially, then it is called woes of a householder. And if you are renouncing the 5 sins completely, okay, then it is called the major woes or the great woe. So minor woe and great woe. Okay. That is being explained in the next line. Partial woe, that is minor woe, and all woe, that is great woe. In this way, Woes are of two types based on the distinctions between minor woe and great woe. Partial renunciation of the above 5 sins is called minor woe, and complete renunciation is called great woe. So the monks have renunciated all the 5 sins. So they are the holder of the great woes. They are observing the great woes. The nature of the above 5 sins will further be presented by Acharya Dev, the revered teacher, through sutras, aphorisms. Hence, a question may arise: the woes ought to be taken under the restraint category. So why they are included here in the influx category? Okay. A similar doubt has also been raised by Acharya Pujyapad in the Sarvat Siddhi, name of the commentary. And it has also been resolved as follows. The doubt: this woe, being a cause of influx, does not seem appropriate because they are included among the cause of samvar restraint. Further, gupti, that is restraint, samiti, carefulness, are etc. So there are, I think, 6 tools, the cause of stoppage. Okay. So there are 6 instruments: gupti, samiti, then bara bhavna and all are described as the causes of samvar, restraint. So samvar would be a stoppage. Okay, we will use the word stoppage. He has written here, one minute. Yes. So we will use it as a stoppage and not restraint. Okay. So you can change this word. Gupti is restraint, that is okay. Samiti is carefulness, that is okay. As the causes of samvar, here it is written restraint. So you write as stoppage. As the causes of stoppage. There among the 10 types of dharma, virtues, one called Sanyam, that is restraint or continence, it is also called continence, is mentioned. Do the vows fall under that? This is the question being asked. Okay. That why this was are included in the stoppage. Okay. The question is like this, that woes should be included in the stoppage chapter. Why it is being included in the influx chapter? That is the question. Okay. And in the next chapter, we will see that there are 6 causes of the stoppage element. Okay. And among these 6 stoppages, these are the things: gupti, restraint; samiti, carefulness; then we have 10 religions; then we have 12 reflections; then we have 22 parisha. 22 parisha is what called? 22 parisha, and one more is 5 types of conduct. So these are the 6 tools that we are going to discuss in the next chapter, that is the 8th chapter, which is again a part of our syllabus in this semester only. Okay. And then we will discuss about dissociation and the liberation, that is chapter 9 and 10 in the next semester. Okay. So up to 8 we have. Somebody wanted to know which are the sutras included in the 5th chapter. Okay. So I'll tell you the 5th chapter. The sutras included are 21, 29, 30, 31, 32, 38, 41, 42. I repeat, 21, 29, 30, 31, 32, 38, 41, 42. Only 8 sutras from chapter 5. One is full, chapter 5 only 8 sutras, then 6, 7, 8 full for this semesters. Okay. Okay, so we'll again come back. I just remembered that I forgot to mention that. Now we will see the answer. There is no fault in this because in that context, they will speak of nivritti rup samvar, stoppage in the restraint in the form of cessation. Okay, cessation means stoppage in the form of stoppage. While here, active engagement is observed. Because upon renouncing violence, falsehood, theft, actions such as non-violence, truthful speech, and acceptance of what is given, etc., are observed as positive conduct. Okay. So on the one hand, we renounce the 5 sins, and on the other hand, we observe the positive conduct. Okay. So on one hand, we are renouncing something, so we are also observing in terms of conduct opposite to that. A similar purport has also been presented by Acharya Akalank Dev in the Rajvartik. A significant portion of that is as follows: woes are not of the nature of samvar. So samvar here, samvar here means stoppage. Okay, not restraint, but stoppage. You can correct here, stoppage. Vratas are not of nature of stoppage because they involve vibratory activity or active engagement. Okay, because all these woes, when you observe, there is always an activity of mind, speech, and body going on. Okay, and because of that vibration in the soul's space point, new influx of karma happens. So one which is a cause of influx cannot be a cause of stoppage. And that's why all these woes are included in this chapter, which is a chapter of auspicious influx. Okay. So we are discussing the causes of the auspicious influx of karmas. Okay. So the one which are the causes of stoppage cannot be included here. Okay. So we have included these woes here is absolutely correct. That's what Acharya is here explaining us. Yes, Gupti, restraint for the purpose of samvar, again samvar would be stoppage, are aided by these ahimsa adi vratas, woes such as non-violence. So again you have to cut the word restraint and enter stoppage in the second word. Okay, Gupti is restraint, that is true. Okay, Gupti etc. for the purpose of samvar, stoppage, are aided by these woes such as non-violence. Okay, a sadhu, ascetic, who retains the impressions of vratas, vows, performs performs somewhere with A's and composer. So again here somewhere would be stoppage element. Okay. Therefore, this vratas, since these vratas in the role of groundwork for samvar are a cause of punya asrav, auspicious influx, it is appropriate to mention them here. Okay. There is one more doubt regarding night eating, Ratri Bhojan. The views of Acharya Pujyapad should be noted. Doubt. Our time is over, but I'll just finish this. Should the sixth Anuvrat, minor woe, called Ratri Bhojan Virmana, abstention from night eating, have been included here? Resolution. No, because it is already included within the contemplative practices. Later, the bhavnas means reflections or contemplations. Later, the contemplations of the woe of non-violence will be discussed. Among them is a contemplation called eating with awareness and illumination, within which the woe of renunciation of night eating is included. Okay. So these are some of the contradictions, that doubts that were raised, and the resolutions has been provided by the Acharya, Pujyapat Swami. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow from here, and I'll be ready with further corrections also. So far what we have read, only one correction was there, that at certain time the word, the meaning of the word somewhere would be stoppage and not the restraint. But when we talk of Gupti, Gupti is restraint. So in case of Gupti, the word restraint is correct. But in case of word somewhere, because they have already used word, Hindi word everywhere, somewhere, somewhere, somewhere. So we know that somewhere is stoppage. Okay. So this 7th chapter is discussing the causes, the auspicious influx. Okay. The discussion is about the auspicious influx. What causes this auspicious influx? And under that, the woes have been discussed. Okay. So woes are the activities through mind, speech, and body. And when then there is an activity on mind, speech, and body, the vibrational activity of the soul space point happens. And because of that, there is an influx of karma. Now we are here discussing the woes. So those are all auspicious influx. And this chapter we are going to discuss only auspicious influx only. Okay. So inauspicious we already discussed in the 6th chapter. Now we are discussing the auspicious one. Okay. So here there are 39 sutras in this chapter. And then we will move on to the 8th one, where the discussion on stoppage element will be elaborately done. Okay, any questions?
Sir, I've got a question, sir.
Yeah.
If I fail in this exam, will I be demoted?
No. And why you will fail?
It's going bonkers above my head. I don't know what. I'm not able to concentrate on this subject. I don't know why. It's just been going above. I don't know. So I just want to know if I
You
fail, it's
stop
okay?
me, no? Wherever you don't understand anything, you
Yeah.
ask, no?
No, I resonate with you, Rajashri ji, because these are new terms, and it is no, the language is also such that we are not reading in the flow of the the way it is presented.
No, there's no flow, sir. There's no flow.
No,
It's just
this is
statement.
ChatGPT version, and the flow is quite good because they
But
have
I'm
done.
telling you, Rajashri ji, now that you've heard the class, if you now just read the note a few times, you will be able to understand the gist. The idea here is to understand the gist, and I'm sure you will be able to understand the gist, and the questions will also be like, if you are wondering from the examination point of view, the questions you will be able to relate to the question, I think.
No,
Well, like,
he
it
said
may
the
See,
not be
the
question is
as
going to
exam
be
will be
complicated as
very
sutra
the
for
easy.
you.
I'll tell you
No,
what
he
is
said
the
the
syllabus,
question is going to be from the sutras, and
Only sutras,
we are
only
having
sutras.
explanation. So
Only
where are we
sutras.
going
These
to
explanation are
match the
all very detailed
explanation of the
explanation,
sutras?
and we have taken this for better understanding only. Otherwise, that the earlier book was sufficient for our exams.
No, you have another class. If people are demoted, you take another class for them.
No. You don't worry about demoting. Nobody would be demoted. Everyone is getting above 80%. Because some of the assignments that we do, now if you are submitting the CC2 on time, you are getting 30 marks over there. You are submitting GM, you are getting 15 marks there. You are submitting Viva, you're getting 15 marks. Objective is only 50 marks. And out of that also, you never get less than 40, right? Or you get less than 40? Nobody
Yeah,
gets less
sometimes.
than 40.
No, I've got sometimes, but
Once
it
in a
is
while, it
possible.
happens.
And
But
No,
not
no,
less than
30.
30. Nobody
Only
would have
30.
got less than 30. So
Yeah,
again, 30
30.
is 60%. 30 is again 60%. Okay. So
So
where
I
is
resonate with you, Rajashri ji, because of the flow is not typical of the flow that we have done in the past and the presentation. But
the
give it
problem is
a
that
time and then let's see.
they have included the Hindi words along with the English. That is creating the problem. And they wanted to include this Hindi word because they say that we want people to learn Hindi.
No, correct. No, sir, the Hindi word should be there because
But then the flow breaks, no?
uh,
That is what I am telling them. I have read so many international books on Jainism. They never use Hindi words. They've always words English when they found out English words for that. So it looks so good. So what happens? Like initially,
no,
it
they
takes.
found out, sir, English words, that's correct. But what happens is there is no common dictionary which says that this English word means somewhere this thing.
Ah,
So that is why, as a concept, when we read it in English, we may understand a few things. But if we ever know, if somebody says that you are studying Digambar Jain scripts, and if they are talking just basic name of concept, we will not know if it is not included like this. And we will feel we don't know till we realize कि अरे ये तो सब आता है. Only if we knew the term.
So initially it seems like that, but as you get accustomed with the terminology, then it becomes all easy and you are connecting. So you have to read once before the class, one during the class, and one after the class. 3 times everyone should read one. Okay. And then while giving exams, you have open book exam. You can again open. And if you don't understand anywhere, you can call me anytime. Okay. Not during exam, but now as a homework, right? So you can understand. So the time is not a constraint for me. Only thing is that we have only 2 classes here officially, but there is one other class that we are doing on a weekly basis, so there I can take up questions if you come. Okay. So I think that
So
is
that class is also in English or Hindi?
English.
English only.
Only this is for Aditi Jain and Jin Priya. They are not attending classes, no, because she is in UK. So the timings doesn't suit them because we are on weekdays, and Jin Priya's job is timing is such that she is also not able to attend every day, every class. So they are catching up on recordings only. But still, I have taken one extra class for them. So if they have any questions, we take up those questions. Otherwise, I explain some concepts. So if you want to join that class, that is on
Saturday.
Saturday, 7 to 8 p.m.
IST.
Or you are open to call me anytime. If you have questions, you just message me, we can talk. No problem.
Okay,
So,
sir.
so explanation will be done provided you ask. But if you don't ask questions and then you say that everything is going above head, then we have to sit and again study.
Correct.
So
Sir, for
Rajeshri
me,
ji
the
will connect
organization of the
tomorrow.
text is gone.
Huh?
Sir, for me, up until the point when we were doing the previous book,
One particular flow. You're
up
too
to
many.
CP1 paper, yeah, till that time, like I felt like, okay, I knew what was the syllabus, what was
Where
going
is
on.
Notes
the
mark
RTR
Prakasha.
road? Correct.
Where in the semester we were, the moment we switched the books, sir, I don't know, it's like, of course, and you keep telling us repeatedly in the lectures also, okay, now mark down, this is this.
Hmm.
Sir, it still gets like, sometimes a little confusing. Like I
See,
think 2, 3 classes I missed on last week of March.
And we
And
switch
so you have to
text
catch
also.
up
No,
on recordings. You can catch up on recordings, and then you have a facility to call me anytime at your convenience. So that is also there. So you have to just read by yourself. And if you don't understand anything, you can call. That's all.
true, sir. Sir, just like, what I was wondering, if we can
Now we are
maybe
in the fifth
have
sem, so
like
you have
a
to
recap.
put in
Sir,
bit more
recap.
effort.
No, sir. Sir, the effort is like that we are still staying part of Parmagam otherwise. So what will I tell you? So we're just hanging by the thread. Uh, but sir, Amara, volume, please come, bacha. So the only thing is, sir, if like, like a bird's eye view. Okay, last week we talked about this. Now we are moving to this, like that connectedness. I think, sir, like
So,
the context.
see, this is something that you are reading for the first time, and there are some terminology issues also there. So you have to get it accustomed. For that, you have to read again and again. You know. So you
No,
have to
sir,
put.
actually, this book is for the monks, sir. They are not for us.
No,
The
no, no, no.
Sutra book is for the monks because they can expand and they are the ones who will explain. So I think so. We are in the lower KG to understand all what monks can understand.
No, no, this is absolutely not difficult. I don't know how you are telling it, but if you see the matter, it's all very simple. In fact, the Chardala and the Karambat Paryay, all these were very interesting topic. This is a bit boring topic because there is only information, information, information.
No. It's not boring, sir. We know the Bharavrat, we know the things, we know the words,
Ah,
the terminology, everything is known. But there's no continuation like one, then two, then three, then four. It's not like a continuous thing that you can just read and
so first
understand.
we discuss Jeev Tattva, then we
Yeah, that
discussed
is there.
Ajiv Tattva,
Ajit Tattva,
then
yeah.
we discussed Asrav Tattva.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the
so
same
it's
nine
going in the
elements.
sequence. Ban
It's the
Tattva.
same 9 elements that
Hmm.
we are doing now. Tattva
Yes.
that we are doing. That's the thing. It's the main thing. But
Only thing is
I
that
think
this book has been written from the perspective of conventional. This is all conventional perspective. You know, there is no real element anywhere involved here. It's all
So,
from
sir, then
conventional
why are
point
we
of view.
studying it?
Because acharyas have written that you to study all from the real perspective also and from the conventional perspective also. Because conventional perspective is an instrumental cause to the real perspective. Okay. So now samvar. So actual samvar is when you take shelter in your soul, the internal purity that you manifest is the real samvar. Okay. This is real perspective. Now from the conventional perspective, you have to do gupti, samiti, 12 bara bhavna, all these vrat, all these are instruments from the conventional point of view. So why this conventional is also explained, because if you are not able to connect to the real point of view, through conventional point of view, you can at least be getting involved in this. At least you will be in the auspicious sentiments, you know. So these all activities are for that only. At the end of the day, you have to somewhere connect to the science of discrimination and enjoy the eternal bliss. Okay. So Kunkund Acharya's principal disciple was Uma Swami. And Kunkund Acharya wrote Samay Sar, Pravachan Sar, Niyam Sar. All these are Dravyani Yog, you know. But Acharya Uma Swami chose to write the whole Tattva Sutra in the form of conventional point of view. Why? To balance it out. You have to strike a balance between real point of view and conventional point of view. So here in the next chapter, you will see this 7th chapter only, not 7th, 8th chapter, when we will discuss the causes of samvar. So the causes of Samvar are Gupti, Samiti, then 12 contemplations, then 10 religions, 5 kinds of conduct, and 12 parisha. All these are conventional point of view. They are not real religion. But along with the religion, this exists. So they are discussing this. So like there is nothing hard about it. But as I said, some terminologies are new. So you have to get accustomed to it. That's all. With little bit of practice, you will be able to do it. Okay. And in case you don't understand anywhere, you can call me personally and we can take it up.
I think maybe we are all stressing for nothing. I think in the back of our heads, we already have this knowledge. But because the book is so like broken the way it's written, it's causing a problem with the flow. But I think if we really look at what's being said, it's quite simple. I think we're just stressing for no reason. So
No
I think let's
problem.
not stress. We just try and go ahead. Maybe a bit slower.
And you are always welcome to call me personally. Take out time and it will be all fine. Okay. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत